35192. Want to send a text, AlanCoxShow.com, to watch live. Thank you so much to our assistant in the video department today, Clenchy D'Angelo.
Clenchy.
D'Angelo.
Clenchy
D'Angelo. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a brand new episode of the Poundcake podcast at AlanCoxShow.com. It's called Inside the Kobe Bryant Photos Trial or something. A little holdover here from Big Hair Wednesday on the Buzzard. A little docking for you. The song's called Kiss of Death, and this is what I thought of. This was a thinly veiled reference to the AIDS epidemic. You're talking late 80s with this song. Lead off track. Great album called Back for the Attack. You were a Dokken fan, right? And I was, boy. Ooh, big fan. And I was reading about this woman who is, she caught a body, as Poundcake has said before.
Yes.
She's been charged.
I love using my lingo. It's great.
I do. Yeah. She hella caught a body, according to Poundcake. Charged with murder after she went to visit her inmate boyfriend. This is how you know this was not in New York State, because they don't like the word inmate anymore. It's now incarcerated person. This was in Tennessee. She goes to kiss her incarcerated boyfriend and pass him some meth. How are they not checking? It's hard to see or hard to know how stringent any kind of searches are, anymore. And I have no experience with the correctional system in any state. But she ended up killing her boyfriend after passing him a half an ounce of meth to him in her mouth. She kissed him, gave him the meth, obviously. Why not just opt for the coochie? So they get her on contraband, and they get her on murder. The boyfriend was serving an 11-year sentence on drug-related charges. He would have gotten out in 7 years. And she passed him the meth. Obviously, he was going to distribute that at the correctional center there. And he died. He swallowed it.
Oh,
because
you're not supposed to swallow it.
But he's got to get it in his. That's
one cheeky snowball.
The
old meth snowball.
Yeah. This is dangerous game, boy, when they pass people balloons in prison and you hope that it doesn't pop. For any drug mule, you hope that it doesn't pop.
I mean, that's a dangerous game anyway, trying to keep balloons from touching the ground.
Keepy uppy.
Yeah, you got to keep the...
I play that with my daughter all the time.
You call it keepy uppy?
Keepy uppy. Well, she's a big Bluey fan, and on Bluey they call it keepy uppy.
It's a fun game, but it can get real serious. If a balloon goes flying across the room, you got to jump over the couch to knock it up.
You
keep
really
it going.
do. I cracked my ankle on an ottoman one time trying to get a balloon.
And there wasn't even any meth or heroin involved.
Well, don't act so quickly. Why do you think I was trying to get it so quickly? I was passing my daughter an empty balloon. Nothing in that balloon. But
hot air.
Right. But poppers or whatever. Yeah, so she passes this to the boyfriend and swallows it, but he dies. And so anyway, now she'll just take his place there with the Tennessee Department of Corrections. But you got to wonder how many times she had done that before. Just making out with this guy. Hey, baby. I got a hot tongue for you, or whatever people say, when they get in there.
No, that's what they say. That's what
tongue.
Everyone says when they want to make out with someone. They go, "Hey, baby, I got a hot tongue for you."
That's right.
Hot tongue incoming.
That's right. That's how I get my wife worked up. I go home to Gwen, and she goes, "How was work?" And I go, "I got a hot tongue for you." She just assumes it's a euphemism for me talking for a living, and I go, "Oh no." Alan, can we please have a new segment on the show called Economics with Helpful Brown? Okay, could you do that? Could we do like a new segment with you where it's just called Economics with Helpful Brown?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely we can, because y'all know what y'all talking about.
Dude, I hated my economics class. I took one economics class in college because I had to.
Oh, I got
and
out of that.
it was like Economics 101.
It's still coming back up on her.
It was bad.
I had to.
I took the remedial equivalent of economics, and it was like excursions of mathematics.
Oh, God.
Because I was like, there's no way. I was like, I know I'm going to fail this class. I was like, I don't know stats. I don't know multiplication. Like, I was like, I'm going to fail. They're like, you're not going to fail. Give it a try.
You don't know multiplication. I was just going to ask, what is a remedial econ course?
I don't.
Like Econ 100 is pretty much remedial.
So I don't.
Most accounting is addition and subtraction.
I don't know if it was a remedial course. It was just an alternative, and it was like the only alternative. And people,
That's what they call it to make you not feel so bad for taking remedial math in college.
Well, I don't know that it was remedial, but when I spoke about it, people didn't know what I was talking about, and there wasn't people in my class that they didn't know math. They just didn't want to take stats.
Right.
Like, and I could not do stats. I was like, no.
Oh, I'm terrible at math too. Don't get me wrong, but for some reason, my stats probability class, I killed it.
That's one I can't do.
I don't know how I did it.
Calculus, a breeze. Took up to like Calc 4, Calc 5, no problems.
Nope.
Calculus in 4 dimensions, nailed it. Got an A+. Statistics, I look at it and I'm like, this is German. I have no idea.
Really?
What it is. I cannot do statistics and probability are so hard.
Was your
for
text
me.
in German by any chance?
It might have been. Statistics was the only math class that didn't make sense to me.
Diffie-Q and differential equations and stats and probability were the only 2 math classes in college that I remember accidentally doing well in.
Diffie-Q you'd think you'd be good at. That's like a core part of calculus.
I was okay at calculus. I was by the seat of my, but I was like running with people that were like legit brainiacs with the physics. And I was hanging on for dear life. And I didn't really need to take math classes. For a while, I was taking them in college to prove to myself that I could do them. And I stopped doing that with the quickness.
I have proved it. I am fine.
They said, show your work. And I go, I don't need to do this. Why am I doing this? I think it was partly because of my dad, too.
Yeah.
Because he was an engineer. And so he was teaching those classes at a college level. He was teaching like statics and dynamics and physics and things like that. And so there was a part of me that I was like, I am clearly the artistic-brained person in my family, but I'm going to show my dad that I can do this stuff. I'm going to prove to him, and I could not. I could not.
So this excursions of mathematics was the class I told you guys about, where I started showing up, and day by day there was less students in the class, and not because they dropped it, but because she would film every class. And then people would just watch it on like online anyways. So there was no point in showing up. She's like, oh, all my classes are recorded, so no need. So she would literally speak to a lecture hall of maybe like 100 students, and then, but it would be by herself. It was the freakiest thing.
This class he's talking about at the University of Akron is called Mathematics for Everyday Life. You have to understand
change,
interest. Monthly payments for loans. Listen,
I don't remember this at all.
When you get into the upper echelons of economics, it gets very complex. But if you're talking about an Econ 100 class,
I don't think it was that. It was just called It wasn't Stats for Everyday Life was the class that I didn't want to take. It was Excursions of Mathematics.
That's what this says. Excursions in Mathematics.
Okay, then yeah.
Dude, I want to be more. I mean, my parents. I feel like when you grow up poor, learning things like that is not at the forefront of a poor family's brain, teaching you mathematics.
That's how they keep you. That's how they keep you in line.
Well, not even keeping you in line. It's like we don't have time to worry about teaching you how interest works because we're 3 months behind on our car payment.
It's not an issue of financial literacy when you don't have enough money. You're
exactly.
You're not budgeting it improperly.
Correct.
There's no money.
We have 7 people eating on one factory person's income. So this is like.
My parents also didn't teach us anything like that. They're teaching us all this Mormon stuff, and like they tried, like they're like, save a little bit of money, that kind of stuff. But they didn't, like, I didn't have any financial literacy coming out of, off my mission, and when I started doing comedy, like I had to learn all that stuff on
you
my
got to
own.
know how to tithe.
Yeah, that's it. They go 10% to God.
And that's a nice round number, too. 10% of anything's easy, especially when Jesus is helping you with the calculations.
32 years old, learning how to do money all on my own. And the other night, I don't know why, I was like, couldn't sleep.
Couldn't your
because
boyfriend help you? He's very good with money.
He's not very good with money. There's a difference.
He's great with money.
He's just cheap.
He's got so much money.
There's a difference between being good with money and being cheap.
Well, that's fundamentally good with money if you're frugal.
I guess, but it's not like I don't know how to describe it. It's if you put like.
It's better to be cheap than frivolous.
And that's fine. But if you put like a stats problem in front of him or anything about the economy, I don't think he knows what he's talking about.
Well,
it's not
again,
like that. There's
he doesn't need to know that.
As far as financial literacy goes, he knows put money in your savings account. That's all that he knows.
Working
That's
for him.
more than a lot of people.
Which is fine. And I'm not talking bad about him at all. What I'm saying is that the other night I couldn't sleep because I was focused on money. And I hit up my one comedian friend who's doing incredibly well. And I just texted him at like 2 a.m. and I was like, how do you open a Roth IRA? And he was like, this is the most random you up text I have ever gotten
By
in
the
my
way, you
entire
open
life.
one. You go to one of this company's websites and they walk you through.
Well, I told him, and I was like, I since I quit gambling, I have a little bit of change that I want to do something with. Because to me, just having money in a savings account kind of seems pointless. Where it's like, sure, you have the money, but it's not doing anything. It's
I
just
thought you were
sitting
gonna
there.
give it to Alan and maybe me to go and gamble for you.
No,
Yeah,
because
what
you
happened to
guys
that?
said that you were gonna lie about it.
Well, we
Yeah,
thought
but
about
throw
it.
it
And
in
we
the
thought
trash.
better about
Yeah,
it.
we
And
changed our
we think we
minds.
want to do that now.
Yeah, okay. Well,
we
whatever.
want to gamble it. We want to make sure it gets gambled.
Then you'll have to live stream it. You'll have to go on Instagram Live and stream yourself using my money to gamble.
We will.
No, you will
Absolutely.
not.
I can't.
Why won't we?
Give me $40. I'll go.
Here's
do it.
Bill
Yeah.
and me gambling with
I'll give you
your
$40
money.
right now if you go gamble during the next segment.
Proxy
I mean-
gambling with Mary's money. Yes.
I'll have you
I'll
record
have a
it.
logo made up for that. Throw that up on the screens.
But so I hit up my buddy who he is like, he runs his own business and he very much so has like investments and accounts and accountants and like all these people.
He has a portfolio.
So that, yes, so that his money is just making more money. And I was like, teach
Passive
me
income, that's
how
the way
to
to
do
do it,
this.
yeah.
And so I'm going to be seeing him next month. And he's like, I'll walk you through everything you need to do and give you a couple suggestions on how I started. You don't need a ton of money to be able to start doing this kind of stuff. So I am actually looking forward.
Everybody tells you the same
that.
thing. Buy an apartment building and then overcharge for rent.
I don't
and
wanna
then
do
flip.
that.
I know, but people are like, they're not making any more land.
Yeah.
Buy land and property. Like,
I don't
yeah,
think he has
that
that.
is a thing to do, but you know.
But yeah, I am looking forward very much to getting an insight from him because I had that buddy, I talked about it on air, where my buddy's like, he's also very good with finances, and he's like, oh, well, we'll have a meeting and I'll walk you through finances and yada yada. And I showed him my budget and all the money I make and what it's allocated for. And his financial advice was, you need to make more money. And I was like, this was a waste of my afternoon. Like, what are you? And because, like you said, it's not that I'm using it improperly.
You're just
There's
yeah.
just not enough coming
If you
in.
go to an
Right.
advisor and you show them that you're just getting everything covered, you have nothing to play with.
Right.
And they can't tell you anything.
Right.
I mean,
They just kind of look at you like, I don't know, how can you make more money?
the Roth IRA is a fantastic idea, though.
Right.
Good
So
way to
And
make
again-
more money. Give some to me. Give some to Alan. We'll go gamble it for you. We're very lucky. We'll make you lots of money.
I don't think you're that lucky.
I'm pretty lucky. I'm doing this, and I didn't graduate from high school, so.
Yeah, but
feel like
this
that's
doesn't
pretty
require
lucky.
a high
And
school
radio is
diploma.
the lowest rung on the entertainment ladder, too. So
Right,
it's
but I mean,
you know,
like,
we're all in the same boat.
There's
there.
a lot of people that didn't get where I am, and they graduated high school, and they went to college, and so I feel like I'm very lucky.
Well, there's a lot of people further along than you that have doctorates. What Dr. Ken? Who's it? What's his last name? Ken.
Dr. Ryan Berglund?
No, Ken. He's an actor and a comedian.
Ken Jeong.
Ken Jeong.
Ken
Yeah,
Jeong.
yeah.
He's a doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, medicine was so great for him. He goes, I'd rather be in showbiz.
I'm just saying that there are.
I didn't say I was the furthest along, but I was saying, like, for someone that has accomplished what I've accomplished in that aspect, the education department,
You're doing great.
I'm really low.
You're doing
and
great.
I've been very lucky.
But that luck is not
And-
the same as gambling luck.
We don't know that
Luck in
until
life.
we
No,
try
I
it.
can tell you.
We
because
don't know it until we try it.
I am very
Mary.
lucky in life.
I never step on cracks.
My mother's back has remained unbroken.
That's right.
I'm
He,
very-
he wants to do a lot of crack. But
You think I'm walking under a ladder? No, I'm not walking under a ladder.
What do you do if you
Nope.
see a black cat?
He murders them in the hallway.
Yeah.
Yes.
I stomp on it.
With an airsoft gun. He stomps and then he shoots it.
Yeah.
Double tap right between the eyes.
Yeah.
don't
I've
know,
never
man.
broken a mirror.
I don't believe that.
How would I break a mirror?
Oh, drop it, run into it.
Looking into it.
Hey!
See what happened?
Oh.
Hey!
Professional broadcast.
I was lucky until then, and then brought me back down to earth.
I got a lot of messages when we were talking about the kid who won the mullet competition yesterday.
Bill, I believe you're talking about Mullet Girl and Mullet Mom. Growing up playing Cuyahoga Falls Little League South, there was a girl 3 years behind me whose red mullet matched her mother's, and the coaches, players, and parents referred to them as Mullet Girl and Mullet Mom. I never knew her actual name, but I think we went to the same grade school, and I think we went to the same middle school. I remember us being dicks as kids and making fun of the haircuts because we'd never seen that before when, you're 10 years old. But I remember that girl.
Was he talking about what you were talking about yesterday?
I think he's exactly talking about what I was talking about.
Well, here's the kicker. He goes, I don't know their names. I looked into this. Mullet Girl and Mullet Mom. Unfortunately, her name was Meredith Ullet. So it was one huge misunderstanding. And the daughter's name was Madeline Ullet. And their hair was fine. It was just it was a normal hair. But it was a big misunderstanding.
That kid's hair was insane because it was really long. It was like the full, like I said, poofy 80s bangs with a long, dark red mullet. Like it was dark red.
That's right. Alan, one time on the show you called yourself Sloppy Thumbs Cox. I think about that on a weekly basis. Wow. Look at you on a weekly basis. I didn't even remember saying that.
Oh,
I do call myself that, old Sloppy Thumbs Cox.
We made it into a little clip or something.
Probably.
Old sloppy
but those are,
Cox.
those are smoke rings. You know, it's they're made from nothing and then they're gone in an instant. Restructure might forgive Mary's whole loan. The one proposal was to pay off balance of loan after 10 years of payments. You've been paying for how long?
Well, I don't know if that counts if it's also in forbearance because I haven't been paying consistently for 10 years, but I have because it's been in forbearance a couple times.
I was going to say, I thought forbearance couldn't be longer than 2 years.
At a time.
Cumulative.
No. I've definitely had them in forbearance for longer than 2 years because it's been like
you can have it 2 years and then like pay for another 6 months and then have 2 years again.
I know people are going to get mad. Based on my situation and what I've experienced, I have put loans into forbearance for unless it's been right at 2 loans, like 2 years, like if I put it in 4 separate times for 6 months. But I feel like because that's what's going to happen. Mary's an idiot. She talks about, she doesn't know who said a student loan.
But they don't know your situation.
And that's what I'm saying. Based on my situation, I feel like I've had them in, over the course of the last 10 years, I feel like they may have been in forbearance longer than 2 cumulative years.
Do you have to put it in forbearance? Can you put it in forbear uncles?
No bitches. No money.
Now they're not going to be mad at you.
You see how he diverted the attention away from you? By the way, somebody else, that's right, no bitches, no money. Somebody else from earlier in the show thinks that Bill is the real conniver with that whole pizza situation because he thinks, this person that texted me, is convinced that Bill messed with your website so that you'd have to sell tickets to your joint show
through his
at BillSquire.com.
Pushing the traffic to old pure BS over here.
That's right. So he could poach a disproportionate amount of fans and
to the same show?
Yes.
Because they're going to BillSquire.com because MarySantora.com is blacked out. Mm-hmm. So not really an IT issue, a BS issue, if you get what I'm saying.
Conniver.
Bill Squire.
I'm just going to go with no comment.
Bill! Don't steal my fans. They're your fans too. 99% of people
His
who
no
know
comment
me know
is still
you.
a comment, by the way.
Is there a place around here other than the bathroom that I can get some tissues?
What a random question. That you can get probably in the kitchen. There might be. Can you use paper towels?
No,
Do you
I
need
need tissues.
to pick your nose? What do you need to
I
do?
need to pick my nose.
You need to go knuckle deep.
Just pick it.
No.
I'll get you on camera right now.
Just
The
pick
lag
it.
is fixed.
Come on.
Come on. Just get up in there.
No.
Tell Mary you had to graduate from college to get forgiveness of loans.
You gotta go back to school.
For real?
Back to school, Mary.
Where does it say that?
I don't know.
I didn't see that anywhere in the CNN article.
I'm just reading what one person texted me,
That's
so they
because-
could be wrong. Apply to people who didn't finish.
I'm calling Joe Biden. And I'm saying, listen.
Hello, Joe Biden.
Are you my daughter?
Are you so sleepy? I need to talk to you.
Hmm.
And he'll say, you know what, Mary, you're right. All your loans are forgiven. And I'll fix your website.
You know what? And all future loans are forgiven as well. Just
Thank you.
borrow away, baby.
And I'll teach you how to do a Roth IRA.
That's right. A David Lee Roth IRA is what I've got.
Flippity-flop.
That's right. That's what you got to put your money into. You'll get 5,000% return. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take a break. I'll have those I Prevail tickets for. I want to go see them. They're playing the Agora with some other bands November 11th. I'll tell you all about that show after the break, but they're pretty solid. So if you want to see them, I'll hook you up. 35192 if you want to text for anything else, and AlanCoxShow.com. You can hit us up there.
It's the Alan Cox Show. Everywhere on